Hello and welcome to All the Way Down, a YouTube channel all about the Scottish rock band Biffy Clyro.
All the way down, all the way down.
So as I record this, Biffy are halfway through the North American tour, April and May 2022, 15 dates, and I've got to be honest, when Biffy leave the country and tour different parts of the world, I don't really pay attention to the rooms that they're playing in, the set list that they do, because I'm not there. But I thought it was interesting to have a look at what they're doing at the moment. And one thing that prompted me to do that was a tweet that I looked at this morning. I woke up, checked a few websites, including Twitter, and Mike was replying to a fan who was basically thanking him for a show that they'd been to a couple of days before. And Mike replied, "I honestly think this is my favourite Biffy setlist of all time. So much mad shit in there." And that kind of made me think, well, I wonder what setlist they're doing. You know, it can't be too similar to the setlist that I saw them play in Liverpool. We all know one of the videos that I did was they played the whole new album back to back and then a couple of favourites. Are they doing the similar thing now? I thought, let's have a look. So I went on my trusty friend, Setlist FM, and all the recent shows are on there, and it seems like they're playing the same set list every night. So what I thought I'd do is have a video and just do a bit of analysis of the North American tour set list. On first glance, this set list doesn't look too odd. Nothing looks particularly out of place just on first glance. But if you were to have a look at it a bit more closely, there's a couple of things worth noting, I think. 19 songs in total, and if we're going to break it down album for album, the songs that they play from each album goes like this. Nothing from Black and Sky, nothing from Vertigo of Bliss, nothing from Infinity Land, 2 songs from Puzzle, 4 songs from Only Revolutions, 1 from Opposites, 2 from Ellipsis. I'm not sure we're counting Balance Not Symmetry, but they don't play anything from that. 6 from A Celebration of Endings, and 4 from The Myth of the Happily Ever After, which of course is the new album. If we're talking about first and last from the set list, they open with Dum Dum. I've said my thoughts on this before. This is the song that they open with in Liverpool when I saw them last. I don't really think it's a set list opener. I know it opens the album, but in terms of songs that kick off an album and kick off a set list, I've said it before, I'll say it again, they've got far more stronger songs than this. And they've got far more stronger songs than this in this set list. If we're talking about songs that opened gigs really well, North of North South, Wolves of Winter, maybe That Golden Rule. I mean, North and North South comes in at number 5 on this set list. They play Wolves of Winter 12th and That Golden Rule 6th. Opening with Dum Dum, it's something that they're sticking with. I don't completely agree with it, but that's what they continue to do. And they finish with Many of Horror. I think that's not a really surprise. They actually end the main bulk of the set list with Bubbles. That's always been a song which I thought is very early in the set, maybe 2, 3, 4. But to finish the main set with it, I thought, oh, that actually works really well, because it's a really huge ending to that song. And I can really see that working well, ending the main bulk of the set list. And if you were to think of a song that truly ends a Biffy set in style, I'm talking big festival sets, I think Mountains, that's the first song that I hear. But Mountains comes in here at number 8. It's sort of wedged right in the middle of the set list, which on first glance you think, oh, they're obviously playing that song, but to stick it at number 8, I think that's quite odd. There's quite a few songs that I think are left out of this set quite unjustly. There's no Biblical, there's no Who's Got a Match, there's no 57, well, there's no songs from the first 3 albums. And if we're talking new stuff, Errors in the History of God, I think it's the strongest song from the new album. It's not on there. There are 4 songs from Myth of the Happily Ever After. I think Errors has got a huge call to be in there. They play 2 songs from Puzzle, which is Living is a Problem Because Everything Dies. Again, that's a song that to me feels like it should be higher up the set list, a bit like Bubbles, second. They usually play it very early. Here it's number 16, just before Bubbles. And they also play Machines from Puzzle. They only play 1 song from Opposites. Now, if I was to ask you this question, pick one song from Opposites for them to play in a set list, I'm thinking Sounds Like Balloons. I'm thinking Biblical. I'm thinking Stinging Bell, maybe. They choose Black Chandelier. What I find really exciting and interesting about this set list is the duos of songs that they've put together back to back, which are absolute barnstormers. North of No South, and then That Golden Rule, absolutely huge. Mountains and Machines, so a big mammoth mainstream hit in Mountains, and then you bring it back down with Just Sigh on its own as Machines. I love that juxtaposition. End Of, and then Wolves of Winter, two huge songs, two songs that completely would, rip open any set list, but they've put it at number 11 and number 12 in this set list. Not sure why they played Instant History. I think they play 6 songs from Celebration of Endings, 4 songs from Myth of Happily Ever After. I just think if you want to even it up, maybe play 5 from one, 5 for the other. I'd get rid of Instant History and put Errors in the History of God in there. I think that would be absolutely fantastic and so well balanced. The set list doesn't really let up much. Biffy have this knack of balancing set lists where they play quite a lot of big ones, bring it down, gradually build it back up again, then rip your head off, bring it down, rip your head off. It's a real journey. They play Machines 9th, Space 13th, and then Rearrange 15th. From what I can tell, the rest are big, huge songs. So to sum up, I think Mike is right in his tweet that there's a lot of mad shit in here. I maybe say that the choice and the mix of songs is what's mad about it. There's a couple of songs in here which surprised me, and the positioning in the actual set list as well surprised me too. But they've not played in America for a few years, and I just think they've got together and thrown everything into the set list that they wanted to play. Let's mix it up. Let's play Space next to Slurpy Slurpy Sleep Sleep. Let's play End Of and then Wolves of Winter. Why not? I think, they're 10 albums in and they've toured for a long time, and touring and playing set lists and playing songs can get a bit stale if you stick to the same formula. They've left out a couple of songs which they have played time and time again. We all know they're going to be back in America touring, and they're going to be back time and time again all around the world, touring different festivals, playing different tours. I think there's time for the more generic, more structured set lists. But I think this feels like a bit of a celebration of being back in America and just saying, let's play whatever we want. So that is my analysis of the 2022 North American Tour set list, all sparked off by the second guitarist, Mike Vennart, and his tweet saying that there is a lot of mad shit in this set list. Kind of agree with him, but if I had my way, there's a couple of things I would change. If it was up to me, I wouldn't play Instant History. I would play Errors in the History of God. Certainly wouldn't start with Dum Dum, but they've ended the main set with Bubbles. They've finished the whole night with Many of Horror. You can't really go wrong. I really love this idea of putting two big songs together in the set. End Of, Wolves of Winter, North of No South, That Golden Rule. I just think you're really onto a winner there. Is the set mad? I think the choices are. I think the mix of songs are. But let's face it, you go into a Biffy gig, anything is possible. And it's so great to see them mixing the set up a bit and surprising fans. And I can't wait to see them when they come back to the UK. Maybe they'll play more mad shit when I see them next.